Hello, my name is Rebecca and I will be analysing my manager at Tesco. Tesco is one of the largest retailers in the UK with over 3,000 outlets. The organisation can be categorised as a public limited company. I work as a customer assistant at Tesco Express store. Customer assistant's primary focus is centred around the customers as they are at the heart of everything we do, providing excellent customer service. My hours are set to work weekends, however, due to COVID-19, we are still working extra hours to keep up with the demand for our local store. I typically work 4 days a week. Express stores involve a variety of different duties as compared to extra stores, where staff members are typically based in one area. Meet the team. Here is Tesco Express Erling and a few of our staff members. Definition of a manager. Management is task. Management is a discipline. But management is also people. Every achievement of management is the achievement of a manager. Every failure is a failure of a manager, as referenced by Peter Drucker, 1979. CIPD commented on the importance of the role that line managers play within organisations. They state line managers have a very important role to play not only into the day-to-day management of people and operations, but also in the implementation of HR policies. The processes of management. Armstrong 2015 suggested that the process of management is subdivided into a number of individual processes that are methods of operation specifically designed to assist in the achievement of business objectives. Armstrong 2015 also stated that the purpose of management is to bring together a system, order, predictability, logic and consistency to the task of management within the turbulent environment in which management operates within. The manager's role. I will be analysing my store manager Josh Roberts. Josh Roberts is a newly signed off store manager after being developed for his new role. His management style is a contingency approach. He tends to focus on what is required to be completed in line with the daily functions of the business. Josh is consistent in his behaviour and clear with his expectations. Lippman 2013 suggested that employees like and need predictability because employees know what to expect and count on in terms of behaviour and expectations. He also suggested that managers are erratic and don't have a level of consistency, and that's when problems occur. I believe that this is Josh's biggest strength, despite each day can be different than the business. However, his approach is consistent and clear, taking in mind of the bigger picture in line with the strategic objectives of the business. Industry specifics regarding Tesco. Tesco is within the supermarket sector, where I am based at Tesco Express. However, I am multi-trained and I support other stores, both Express and Tesco Extra stores. However, my base store has 25 employees, which include shift leaders and a store manager. 19 positions are part-time and there are 6 full-time positions. Flexibility is key within our store. Josh oversees 24 employees that are deemed unskilled employees. The team comprises of all ages, sex, races, and with most staff aged between 16 to 30, white and British English. Flexibility is essential within our industry for many reasons, but how the manager approaches flexibility will impact on the business. My research has highlighted that Josh encompasses flexibility within the business, where employees are granted a degree of flexibility, as employees are able to have open conversations with Josh if perhaps they needed a shift change, therefore creating a two-way conversation with his employees where they are very likely to change and adjust shifts within that same manner. This enables scheduling to become more flexible, as Josh can offer a range of options to a certain degree. Therefore, when Josh is able to accommodate his employees' needs, this allows him to retain his best employees. Research has suggested that when the business structure enables flexibility, and then it enables a manager to gain the most out of the workforce, no two people are in the same, so essentially no two employees have the exact same skill sets, granting higher flexibility of different staff members. A good manager knows how to bring their employees together, who have differing talents, and then bring them together. Therefore, when this is utilised, it maximises their skills, creating a flexible unit that can bring together a diverse range of skills, enabling the organisation to become more effective. COVID-19 and the impact on management. The outbreak and the following containment measures will have an everlasting impact on the economic, business and the working lives. CIPD 2020 highlighted that many organisations have had to make rapid changes to how they operate, including how certain jobs are carried out. During the COVID-19 outbreak, Josh had to begin his store management training, which meant his learning had been impacted. However, Josh has still been able to successfully transfer the skills he gained to his management style at his own store now. I have identified the closest management style that Josh approaches within his store is the contingency approach. The approach to management is based on the idea that there is no best way to manage. It must be tailored to the circumstances faced by an organisation. Organisations, people and situations vary and change over time. Therefore, effective management depends on a complex variety of critical and environmental internal consistencies. The reason why I have stated that the management style is consistent with the contingency approach is due to the very nature of the supermarket industry, including the format of our store. The approach focuses on the variable nature of firms and the organisation, Mixberg, 1973. Josh chose a framework that allows him to find solutions to a problem in comparison to sticking to a particular strategy in order to solve the problems, allowing Tesco to work under differentiable environmental conditions and circumstances. However, the approach to management will depend on the complexity of the problem. It depicts that management is circumstantial, there is no universal principles of management, and there is no best way to manage. Different situations may need different solutions. No one can pre-declare how things will fall into place. Mixberg 1973 suggested that the contingency theory depends on both internal as well as external factors of an organisation, such as the size of organisation, the leadership approaches of different managers of the organisation, and the customer's perspective and the competition within the market. I believe that Tesco requires leaders that can match the situation that they are in, which could be either task or relationship orientated. Tesco can become situational due to the demand of customers, which impacts on the level of business. For example, what is required to come in on the next delivery due to demand of customers. Therefore, that the basic premise of contingency theory is that there is no best way to lead an organisation, and therefore it's dependent about the organisation. Tesco is about adapting to situations such as the COVID-19 pandemic and what is required of management to be actioned, for example. However, since contingency theory is dependent on situation, and there are numerous factors such as the nature of task, leader's personality and makeup of the group being led, it's necessary that managers and leaders should adapt their style to follow a development style based on how ready or willing the follower is to perform to required tasks. Leadership is essential within any business. Leaders should direct, inspiration, and guidance. Good leaders exhibit courage, passion, confidence, commitment, and ambition. They nurture the strengths and talents of their people and build teams committed to achieving common goals. I believe that Josh is an effective manager as he leads through setting examples due to the nature of his leadership adapting to the situation that needs to be dealt with at the time. I believe that not every manager can be a leader based on personal experience. However, Josh Roberts is a good leader and he leads through setting good examples that his employees should follow alongside him. Josh Roberts has the desired characteristics to be an effective leader within our store. Despite being a new store manager, he is a good example of what a leader should be. It is clear that Josh applies both management and leadership within his roles because he works well with his team and tries to fit their needs around the job. He's also capable of encouraging and motivating his staff. However, he approaches more towards leadership as the team has a high sense of trust within him and can see him as a role model. We understand what he wants to achieve and are happy to help to achieve those goals as he provides us with that same level of appreciation and help towards attaining those goals that we set ourselves. My manager Josh Roberts is very keen in allocating resources for the business, such as ensuring that we have the right hours in the right place, for example. Josh is very keen at prioritising what needs to be done in our store and consistently a hands-on manager, such as filling shelves with the previous manager Bella did, instead of spending too much time focusing on the admin side of management. A good manager knows how to bring their employees together who have different talents. Therefore, when it is utilised, it maximises their skills, creating a flexible unit that can handle a diverse range of issues, enabling the organisation to become more effective. The psychological contract refers to the relationship between an employer and its employees, specifically concerns mutual expectations of inputs and outcomes. Well, in 2007, it identifies the perceptions of the relationship between employees and workers and influences how people behave day to day. Well, in 2017, at the heart of the psychological contract, it is built on the run-of-the-mill actions and statements made by one party and how they are perceived and interpreted by the other. However, unlike the contract of employment signed by employees and workers, it is not tangible. 2021. The quality of the psychological contract heavily influences how employees behave day to day. When workers perceive the contributions they make to the organisation and what they receive back from the employers are balanced, there can be positive outcomes. The psychological contract is based on the employee's sense of fairness and trust that their employees is honouring the deal between them. A breach of the psychological contract by the employer can have a sudden and powerful consequence for people or organisations, which will ultimately affect the overall job satisfaction, commitment, performance, and increase staff turnover rates. However, breaches of the psychological contract by an employer are not always avoidable through external factors such as the negative economic outlook, which can have a direct impact between the organisation and the people. Nevertheless, organisations can avoid many negative outcomes in the way they deal with situations, even if they are unable to promise positive outcomes for all. 2021.